I'll go into my, another one here. It says, sisters, I have this amazing girlfriend. We've known each other for almost 15 years. Our relationship started in a form of newcomers in the same school, classmates, then friends, then best friends. Now we're lovers. As lovers, we share the same values and religious beliefs as well. We decided no sex until marriage and have been able to follow through up until now. A few weeks ago, my girlfriend felt we should have sex, but I brushed the idea aside until I gave it a thought. When I finally agreed that we should, she seemed reluctant, so I didn't push further. 2 weeks ago, she came home from work and told me she thinks sex is overrated because her married friends are running away from their husbands because of sex. Sometimes I feel she has some fear for sex or there's something she's not telling me. I've tried talking to her about it, but I am not certain what her problem is. As ladies, can you help me with what possibly could be her worry or if I am the problem? Because I'm confused. Claudia, coming to you.
Well, I don't think he's the problem. And for me, a lot of things are going through my mind. So first of all, she's an amazing girlfriend. So I want to assume that there's that sexual attraction. And she suggested you have sex. You said no. What if she went to try it and she's realized the thing now, they be like, I'm not even interested anymore. So there's also that I feel perhaps it's not her married friends running away from it. It's perhaps maybe she went to try and she's realized and she can't even admit that she's going to try. So there's also that part of my brain that is thinking she probably went to try and she didn't like it. But if we are giving her the benefit of the doubt and her friends are advising her, this is negative peer advice. And to tackle negative peer advice, the only way is to get expert advice. I wouldn't even advise her to go to the church to seek sexual advice because it's always couched in a way to favor men. So to see an expert. But we also need to understand that it is absolutely normal and we have people in the world who don't have sexual desires. These are asexual people. So we need to establish if she's an asexual person or it's just low libido. And that will also be a way for her to treat herself. If it's low libido, maybe it's a hormonal fluctuation or she just doesn't have the desire, that's a medical issue. If it's asexual, that is counseling. She has to sit down and speak to herself, understand her sexuality, explore her body in order to ascertain if it's the guy he's not attracted to or if it's people in general that she's not attracted to. But for me, he can't tackle this on behalf of her. It's a conversation the two of them have to have. And to us, I don't think she's even going to admit that it's him that she's not attracted to because we've not even tried it, so he can't even ascertain it. So it's a very complicated conversation. And for me, I suspect it's either she has these sexual attraction issues, which is asexual, which is rarely discussed in our society. People don't even believe there are people who exist who have those conditions. So they need to have layers and layers and layers of conversation. But the bit about her listening to her friends, that's also a bit tricky because that's someone using her experience to advise you and you taking it as holy grail and running with it. She would need to be spoken to and assured. But this, for me, I think she has to sit and discover her body to understand if it's just a guy or it's guys in general or is maybe her friends are right. And that would need counseling because then it becomes a health issue that would have to be treated before they can get married. So it's not as simple as he presents it. It's very complicated and layered. And we need series of conversations. But it is not his duty to heal her or to cure her. She has to come to this realization herself and have an honest conversation at couples level. That's what I think, yeah.
All right. Mansa, what do you think?
Yeah, because I think I don't know what the girl has been listening to, what she's been watching, what she's been hearing. But as Claudia said, she needs to explore her body. It could be that she may have experienced some issues in her childhood days. Maybe she may have been raped. She may have had issues with men. And then growing up, the kind of conversations she's had with her friends in relation to sex. And so I think it goes beyond just him as a boyfriend. I think she needs counseling. She needs to speak with a professional and then needs to know the kind of person she is dating. I think the girl herself needs to discover herself, as in who she is. As she said, if she is asexual, if she is not attracted to this particular man, or it is this particular man that is the problem, or the dynamics are many, and I think the guy needs to help her. It's not just about him and her. It transcends the two of them. It goes beyond that, and then I think a psychological counseling may be a good starting point. Yeah.
Rosie, you have the final word.
Yeah, I think that I want to look at the 15 years of knowing each other. I think that sometimes when you know somebody for so long and you fought the edge to not be intimate, you sort of put that intimacy in the background so that you don't commit the quote-unquote sin of fornication. You understand? So initially, you will be attracted to each other. That's how come you had the discussion, for instance, to not have sex till you guys got married, because both of you probably had the edge and you told yourselves that, look, let's do it right. Let's wait till we get married. So in order to do that, both of you started doing things so that you don't put yourself in that situation. So as time went on, that level of intimacy or having sex became not important. So you've not really had the opportunity to probably discuss with him and to probably decide what you like or don't like. So it's pretty foreign to you. It's possible that now they are seeing that the end is nigh, as in the opportunity or the time that they're going to actually have sex is getting very close. And she says that her friend, singular, so I'm thinking that she probably has a very good friend who is running away from her husband because of sex. Now, why is the friend running away from the husband because of sex? Is it that it's not too good? Is that the member is too big? Like, what is it? What is the story here? Now, for her to come up and say, let's do it, I'm thinking that because of what the friend has said, she wants to experience it to see whether it's what the friend's saying true or not. But the truth here is that sex is different for everybody. So your experience, even with the same person, is very different. Like, for instance, if I had an experience with a man sexually and the same me has an experience with a different man, you realize that the two experiences most likely will be totally different, because especially when it comes to women, sex is more of a mental game. So if she's really into this man, she's really in love with this man, she's been waiting for that moment, a moment that she cherishes. Her mental, emotional game is like 60%, 70%, the sex is already good. It only becomes a disaster if she's confronted with a 2-inch or a 12-inch.
0.5.
I'll say, yeah, it's a 2-inch or a 12-inch. Then you can say that this is a shared disaster. But if it's a healthy, and a healthy performer, and somebody who will pay attention to you, not just get in and then ramp it all in, but will pay attention to you, realize that you might probably even enjoy it more than your friend's experience with her husband, because your stories are very different. So I think that what she needs to do is to settle down. It's like she thinks that they're almost getting married, they're almost settling. So she's all of a sudden thinking that, oh, my friend has been married for 3 years, so she's getting all the apport from there. But the thing is that, trust me, there are married people who are been living for years, and they've never even, like the ladies especially, have never even experienced climax, and they are still there. Yeah. So if you're taking advice from such a person, what advice are you taking? I mean, there are some too, oh, we don't sakana, no. So such a person, you take advice from that person, you think that, oh, it's heaven, and maybe you are in between. So sometimes this is what you need to do. You need to read. Read wide. Get onto the internet. There's a lot of information available there, and like Claudia said, a lot of people speak against exploring yourself and then, knowing what takes for you. But once you are getting there, I think you should start learning you should know which part of your body responds to what. And to start with, you can start talking about it with him and see whether some of these things, it settles well with him. I mean, broach the topics about oral sex, You don't want a situation where say, hey, please, this is a weapon of mass destruction. We don't want anybody to come and sit on it and break it, you know. And this one to say, no, please, so I can't allow you to look inside. No. So you should broach such topics when you're discussing, then you know both of you the kind of appetite that you have when it comes to that.
I think she has put a guy in a friend zone.
Yes, sort of. Yeah. Because so they've been out, and that's the disadvantage with dating for too long.
Yeah.
Because there are stages, you know. As soon as you start dating and it gets to a certain phase, you need to move to the next level. The moment you stay too long, you sort of like plateau. It's like you are just there. There's no excitement. There's nothing. And if you're not careful, it's a dip. So the 15 years, I think, is the bigger problem. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to add more to it because unfortunately we're out of time. But thank you very much, Claudia, for joining us from Berlin. I know it's a little later on your end, but we appreciate your audience every time. And of course, Rosina, Mansa, it's good to see you in person.
Mansa also for Mama.
Yes. And of course, to our sponsors, Vodafone, Together We Can, Talia Rice, Always Coming Home to Love, and Onga, Mama's Helping Hand. My name is Jessica. We'll be back same time next week.